Let's rise and welcome our guest of honor. Thank you. Your Excellency, Paul Kagame, the President of the Republic of Rwanda, Secretary General of the Commonwealth Secretariat, Patricia Scotland, Ministers of Cabinet, the Group Managing Director and CEO of Equity Holdings, Dr. James Mwangi, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. Now, we are here for a groundbreaking ceremony, a step to be taken. Rwanda always wants to make and strive and make better steps. We're looking towards Vision 2035, and key to Vision 2035 is Rwanda becoming an upper middle income country. To achieve that, you need infrastructure. Could be digital, could be physical. Today we are here for physical infrastructure. To turn into a financial hub, to attract world-class talent, to attract world-class skills, you need world-class facilities. That's the reason as to why we are here. We're here for the groundbreaking ceremony of the Kigali Financial Center, and I'll be your host, Arnold Kwizera. Without any further ado, I would like to request our host for the day, Dr. James Mwangi, to give us his opening remarks and tell us the vision of this building. Thank you.
Your Excellency, President Kagame, Your Excellency Patricia Scotland, Secretary General of the Commonwealth, President of IFC, Mokta, the Chair of the Commonwealth Business Enterprise, Honorable Ministers, led by my friend Kra, colleagues and friends. This morning, we talked about the African Recovery and Resilience Plan, and we called upon the Commonwealth as a family to focus on execution. We are now here an hour later, seeing our first execution as Equity Group. I didn't want at that point to convert it into an equity function. So allow me just a few minutes. Equity is 30 years old in its current form since inception. 30 years ago, it was the smallest banking institution in Kenya, number 66 out of 66, Your Excellency. Today, Equity has grown to be the largest bank in East and Central Africa in terms of assets. It's a $13 billion asset organization with 17 million customers. That growth, that transformation is because of serving and being relevant to the people. The global reset gives Equity Group an opportunity to even enhance its relevance in this movement where visionary leadership is required. And as a result, we have sought partnerships, collaborations with friends and like-minded partners so that collectively we can make a contribution. Allow me, Your Excellency, to lead and recognize the President of IFC, Mokta Diop. When I mentioned to him this concept, he said, James, let me fly to Nairobi and we talk when we are seated. And truly, we had a lunch of nearly 2.5 hours. After that, the next thing I saw is IFC had bought 7% of the entire bank from the market without informing me. So I asked Mokta, is this a hostile takeover? he laughed and said, I liked the idea, and we want to support you. We want to anchor the African recovery and resilience plan, and the best is to put our money where our mouth is. Today, with that challenge given by Mokhtar, Equity is putting on the table $6 billion US. That's in Kenya shillings is 700 billion Kenya shillings, to de-risk investors who want to make transformative investment projects in Africa. This is a different invitation that Africa is making to the rest of the world, that come, we work together. We are now presenting commercial opportunities as opposed for request for aids. We're saying there is a business case in Africa. We believe in Africa. We want to de-risk in global investors. Come with your capital, but borrow debt locally. I believe the balance sheet of Equity is not sufficient to transform Africa. So Adeshina agreed to sign the balance sheet of African Development Bank. Mokhtar signed the World Bank IFC. We were lucky. The team of 20 he sent to Nairobi, we had people from IMF and people from the World Bank. So I asked them, can we do the drawing rights for the African countries that have not exhausted there and put it to the private sector? Your Excellency, if you can help us when you converse with Mokhtar to see whether the drawing rights can be converted into citizen borrowing, into private sector borrowing, so that we could lead a benefit. So with this $6 billion, what we thought is that because we can't finance everybody, we'll take a couple of flagship transformative projects that will change the landscape, that will inspire others. We have a couple so far completed. Your Excellency, we were very privileged. Today, as I watched the streaming of guests from Marriott and the Sheraton 4 Points, I realized the wisdom of having committed the facility we gave that group to put up Marriott. It's now the anchor host hotel that defines the hospitality of Rwanda. Today, this is another second project. We felt, yes, we may finance the flagship project, but we need much more than what we can finance. And for that reason, we felt we would support Rwanda in its own program of becoming a global financial and business center by setting up the infrastructure. So we're here to do groundbreaking for $100 million twin tower that will be a square that will provide grade 1 offices, LEED certified offices in terms of friendliness, that will have a complete office of 24 stories and a 20-story hotel building with apartments and 2 floors of retail opportunity for Rwandese to interact with the international community. We're hoping this building will attract investment banks, technical specialists in the development space, legal firms, experts in finance, and Mokhtar, I'm looking at you. We hope IFC will open the African regional office now at the center of Africa, and you will anchor this project. We're hoping Adeshina will also put a regional African Development Bank here so that we can set the pace for other, we hope Goldman Sachs, Barclays Capital and others will follow, so that this African transformation and resilient plan can be financed locally. We could finance from near field. Equity will use this tower as its regional office. So you'll not be alone, Mokhtar. I will be here if it requires me to relocate my office. Hopefully, a chairman, the Commonwealth Business Council will also have its African office here because this is about business. So essentially that is the thinking. And we couldn't get a better option time than the beginning of the leadership term of His Excellency the President Paul Kagame when he's assuming the chairmanship of the Commonwealth. And we can really use his position to rally the Commonwealth country, to remind them what I believe they signed to this morning. And we say, we have started the journey, join us. We're hoping, Your Excellency, within the 24 months, this building will be complete, and hopefully we'll have another event like this when we do a grand opening within the period. Allow me, Your Excellency, now lastly, to thank your Cabinet Secretary and Executive of Rwanda Development Authority, Claire. It has been a long journey, Your Excellency. Claire, we started when she was in the mission in Nairobi, embassy, and that's where she gave me a license for Equity Bank within 2 weeks through your intervention, Your Excellency. When it came to this, she helped us to craft and sign an investment agreement. There were many hurdles, but every time we went to her, they were all resolved. I want to give all the investors here present a testimony of a very good experience of investing in Rwanda. 11 years ago, we invested our capital in Rwanda. 11 years later, I watched last year's balance sheet of the banking industry. Your Excellency, we were number 2 largest bank in Rwanda. That is the environment. And that is why we are encouraged to really bear witness of the investment opportunity in Rwanda, an enabling environment for you to do business. But more importantly, a friendly, clean environment with a predictable legal framework. Claire, once again, allow us to publicly express our gratitude for the support. I know that has been because of the support you get from His Excellency, but Your Excellency, having such senior officers committed, that's why we don't need to keep on bothering you. Thank you very much, Your Excellency.
Thank you very much, Dr. James. Now, Dr. James Mwangi has set the pace, so I want us to walk for a minute. And what do I mean by that? The Kigali Financial Square is here, but what is it? What does it mean to us? What is it going to do? What's its functionality? So many questions. We expect we'll get some answers. And who better than Mr. Mark Alchin, the Managing Director of Equities Holdings Venture Capital, Rwanda Limited, to set that pace for us. Mark.
Good afternoon, Your Excellency, esteemed guests, visitors. Thank you very much for giving us the opportunity to take you through some of the journey we have undertaken to bring to you the Kigali Financial Square. We appreciate your attendance and on this memorable day, hopefully it does rain, and an official groundbreaking ceremony. My name is Mark Alchin from Equity Holding Venture Capital. I'm the Development Director for KFC. Our vision, when we start out on the journey for the creation of a unique and innovative solution for this land parcel in the heart of the CBD of Kigali, we started with a brief, within which we set the standard and aspiration and vision. That vision would define our urban landscape and part of the future for Kigali. Our development that blends into the urban grain of the CBD and a strategic element of the envisioned Kigali master plan. The creation of an iconic address and landmark asset for the city, a strong contribution to the community, a statement for Kigali and an economic driver for business, a well-connected public realm and its adjacent spaces and access for all, a vibrant location, one that draws in pedestrians, visitors, guests and end users and creates a sense of place, a new destination for the city, and a visual locator that's internationally recognisable. We therefore created 5 pillars in our DNA. The little document that you have in front of you talks to this. I have 2 slides to talk to. Oops, sorry. When we create mixed-use developments, we create live, work, play destinations. In order for those to be truly a mixed-use development, there are a series of uses that come together and synthesize. The development is therefore anchored by a Grade A office tower. If I orientate you to the image, the tower on the left is the hospitality, the piece in the centre is the piazza, and then the building on the right-hand side, the 24-storey tower, is the office space. So, which is also supplemented by a conference and business centre, so the work. An internationally branded 4-star hospitality component with short stay and extended stay apartments, the live, and a series of retail F&B units on the ground floor, the play. Holding these together, next slide. Holding this together is a central piazza. So part of our process of master planning is the integration of this development in its urban context. So to the left-hand side, effectively where we're sitting today is KN4. To the right, the first building on the left is the hotel components. The area in the middle, where the crossover of pedestrian access is the piazza, and then the building to the right is the commercial financial office. And to the right of that is KN3, which is the main thoroughfare in and out of the CBD. The KN4, which is the pedestrianised area on the left-hand side, part of that is the public realm that we're integrating into this development. So public flow flows across from Imbuga Walk, where we stand at the moment, across the development, the piazza, and then through into KN3. People are naturally lazy, they will want to go the shortcut. So to support this, we have integrated F&B and some retail space. So that's where we have a complementary set of uses that define what Kigali Financial Square is. Alongside this, sustainability. Sustainability is at the bedrock of this project. As Mr. Mwangi said, we are a LEED development, which stands for Leadership for Energy and Environmental Design. We have pushed the barriers for sustainability. We have supported the sustainability agenda set by Rwanda through their sustainability guidance, and we have moved the notch up the next level to LEED Gold. We will be the first LEED Gold building in Rwanda. Why do we use LEED? It attracts tenants to a degree. It attracts tenants because they too have a corporate policy. They too need to have be answerable to addressing sustainability. We introduced this because we want to align with their corporate policy. We want to ensure that we are providing managed performance. If by setting the standard of LEED Gold, we are able to offer competitive and flexible space, we are able to measure performance, and we are able to set standards in the future. Not only does LEED Gold do that, but LEED Gold gives us the framework for potential for net zero in the future. We do gain a competitive edge by instigating LEED. We are enabled to reduce operational costs. Two of the most important questions that tenants and operators will ask. First of all, efficiency of use, efficiency of space, occupational efficiency, and also LEED standard, environmental standards. We align with all their standards by introducing LEED Gold and LEED Sustainability. Public realm. Everybody, any architect can design a beautiful building, but if it doesn't integrate with the people, then you fundamentally fail. So hence the reason why we've focused on the public realm, drawing people in, integrating people, giving this central space a very much an iconic location. It is a multifunction space. We can use it for just general circulation, free Wi-Fi, to draw people in, but it can also double up as fashion space for a launch, black tie dinners, sporting events and the like. So it's a multifunction space. We want to draw people through this and hold people in that space to create a longer dwell period for the development. We've integrated it across from KN4 to KN3. We also have broken down barriers between Kigali City Hall, which is to our rear, and so this urban grain will start for the master plan and run through the whole of the CBD. The final image is a night shot, I hope. Next slide. Go back to the previous slide. So our final image is one that sort of captures some of the culture of Rwanda. Throughout this project, we have integrated a lot of the ethics, some of the unique features about the geometry for the peace baskets, and this is reflected in the facades. So not only does this act as a locator for residents and tenants, residents and citizens during the day, it also acts as a beacon during the night. So we will integrate into the facade design a lighting system, not like Burj Khalifa, but something that tells people where they are in relation to the city, and will, through that system, provide messages to the citizens throughout the night. That concludes my presentation. Thank you, Your Excellency. I would actually like to say that the last piece, a bit tongue-in-cheek, but I see this as the 1,001st hill for the Mille Collines, but it happens to be an urban hill. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mark. That was Mark Alchin, Managing Director of Equity Holdings Ventures Capital, giving us a 360 overview of what the Kigali Financial Square will look like. Dr. James Mwangi said 24 months from now, so we expect by quick math, 2024 for this building to be functional, so June of 2024. Without any further ado, allow me to invite the CEO of the Rwanda Development Board, Madam Claire Kamanzi, to give her remarks.
Thank you, MC. Your Excellency, Mr. President, distinguished guests, mine is really a vote of thanks. First to you, Mr. President, for the vision of a prosperous Rwanda that you continue to work very hard for, and that we all, as citizens of Rwanda and investors in Rwanda, are very, very proud to work with you towards. Mr. President, we also thank you very much for your continuous support to businesses, building a safe Rwanda, safe for investments, safe for people, safe for ideas, safe for everything in this country. Thank you very much for your tireless support to the business community. My second vote of thanks is to Equity Group. Many years ago, Mr. President, when you liberalized the economy of Rwanda and invited the financial sector from all over the world to invest in Rwanda, Equity Bank was one of those that expanded and came to Rwanda. And today, the impact of Equity Bank on the economy of Rwanda is very clear. Mr. Mwangi gave one example of some of the hotels that have supported our conference tourism. A few years ago, Mr. President, you made another call to the investment community in the world when you launched the Kigali International Financial Center and invited the world to invest in this center. Today, Mr. Mwangi has stepped forward again, and Equity Group is investing in the Kigali Financial Square. Now that Mr. Mwangi said that this will be complete within 2 years. Mr. President, I think you can make another call in 2 years, and I'm sure Equity Group will step forward once again. I also want to thank, finally, all the partners here. We have partners from the government of Rwanda. We have partners from the development institutions. We have partners in the different sectors that have worked with the Equity Group to get this to where it is today. Thank you all very much. With that, Mr. President, allow me to invite you to please make your remarks as well. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Please be seated. I'm just having to be careful to read from my notes what I'm going to say, because when you've been talking from early morning up to late afternoon, you may mix up things. I tell you a story. We were somewhere for a meeting, a big gathering there was. We were supposed to talk about AIDS. AIDS at that time was ravaging places across the continent, and then as we were speaking one after another, one of the speakers was reading from the podium and started reading a speech on governance and electoral politics. So at the beginning I thought, well, this is the context, trying to, but actually we ended up with that. Nothing about AIDS at all. So he had to be reminded, and I realized this person must have been tired. They have been talking all day and forgot what we were talking about. But a couple of things. Mwangi, James, and Group CEO of Equity Group Holdings, Mark and senior government officials and business leaders here. I want to again say, when James told us, having had a 2.5-hour lunch with Maktar, I started suspecting something big was coming out of it. And for the reset, but the reset built on another reset that is taking place here in our country. That's a huge thing for us, and Mwangi, I have to thank you for being a big part of that. And here we are witnessing the investment that is being made. So I thank Equity Holding Venture Capital for choosing our country for this project. This business center will advance Rwanda's ambition of becoming a trusted hub for financial services. For the past 2 years, the pandemic has slowed down economic growth and deepened inequalities. But that is not going to be a permanent state for us or for the region or for the continent, I think things will again start going upward. Regional financial hubs are critical to attracting new investment and getting us back on track. Our country's stability and business-friendly environment are an added advantage. And we have in our country and together with the members of our region, we try to keep working at it to make sure that the stability is something we can look up to for many years ahead of us. But this project is also about the future of our people and our most valuable asset, that is our people. Over the years, we have created meaningful partnerships which have contributed to our development. I therefore have no doubt that it will be the same for Kigali Financial Square. You have our full support and count on us as a reliable partner. I mean all those who are investing in our country with us or in us. So I want to thank all the partners, Mwanji, Maktar, Adeshina, if I don't know whether he is around, but he's been a very strong partner in these different areas. We have partners in countries like different countries, whether it is UK, the European Union countries, United States. We always tell our partners that we try to convince them that we are reliable partners. Once you have us as a partner, you have a partner you can rely on, and we will do our best and make sure you feel every dollar you invested with us is going to have its full worth of return. So about the towers they have designed to build, I had an opportunity to make an input in that. If you see any bad building coming up in the city and you just know I didn't have a hand in it. So I'm expecting that this one will come out very well. So, Mwanji, thank you very much again, and everyone who worked with you, who works with you to make this happen. IFC, thank you very much for your continued presence in this partnership. We wish to have for things to be able to move forward. So as they say in Kiswahili, asanteni sana.
Your Excellency, I think it's now about time to go to the groundbreaking ceremony. As His Excellency has said, Dr. James Mwangi, no bad building, so no pressure. And I would like to invite Your Excellency and the people seated at the front row. You'll be the first group to go there for for the stone laying of the groundbreaking ceremony. Then the rest will follow after. Thank you, Your Excellency. Our guests, as we wait for the president to finish the stone laying of the groundbreaking ceremony, if you want to partake in it, it won't take long, 5 to 10 minutes. And you can watch it live, yes. I've been told you can watch it live. You can watch it live, or you could wait 5 to 10 minutes and also go and be part of this history. And once again, thank you for being with us here today. Thank you for the patience. Thank you for making the time. Have a great rest of your day.
It's a